Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to a brand new video here today. Some more F1 2019 game news, and it seems like I'm making a habit of being out of the house when the news drops for this new game. I hope this is not a trend for the entirety of the build-up to this game, that I'm out of that. Last week when we had the trailer drop for the Senna and Prost edition, I was mid-flight, and then today I was mid-drive back home when the news dropped here. Or it's not really news dropping per se, but when the tweets came out, because basically, if you didn't know, on Twitter, there was some tweets from the publisher that Codemasters works with his Koch Media, and they've got this basically PR event at, I think it was, I want to say, did they go Germany or somewhere? They had a PR event somewhere, basically, to show the game off to the press. Hopefully, there will be a similar event in the UK, like they had last year, because they did have one last year, about a month before the game came out, and there I was able to capture some early gameplay, basically, to show you guys, if you remember, like the start of career mode, a lot of different race scenarios. It was a very good event last year, so hopefully they do something similar like that for the UK here, so we can get some early gameplay and kind of show you the game basically early on. But for now, we just have to go off these tweets basically, and so there are a lot of different pictures of what Lee Mather was showing in a presentation to the press about what's going to be in the new game, and so we're going to kick things off with the first one, just kind of reiterating what's going to come up in the Legends Edition with Senna and Prost. You can see that it's a little bit blurry if you zoom in, but basically essentially 8 invitational events featuring Senna and Prost, so that will be a separate game mode basically, away from the career mode, away from the other party games, I guess you could say. I don't know what else to really call them, to be honest, like scenario modes, I guess. Yeah, away from those, there'll be these invitational events, including Senna and Prost. And also I think because they mentioned that Senna and Prost likeness will be available in the career mode, I think these, because it says invitational events, I reckon they'll also bake them into career mode, so you can play them outside of career, like, you know, in the main menus you can go to them, but I reckon, just like they have with those classic car events you can do in between career mode races, they'll bake in the Senna and Prost ones maybe as a bit of an, I don't know, kind of throwback, kind of just a little bit of a taster, something different in the middle of career mode. But basically, yeah, you get those 8 invitational events, you've got the 2 themed multiplayer cars that we saw last time that dropped with the trailer, and obviously just the 2 classic cars and the 2 drivers finally licensed in the game. But we move on then to some actual fully new info on the game then. So we've got this next screen of multiplayer customization. So this was customizing the new multiplayer car and race online. So of course they've got the brand new 2019 spec car, which has been made in collaboration with Codemasters and Ross Brawn's technical team. And you can see, well, we saw before the custom liveries, but now we can see a little bit more of those. And you've got a very, very bougie sort of, I don't know, leopard kind of stripe, zebra kind of striped car in blue to purple with the black kind of blocking out. And then you've also got another one which kind of looks like a B-Tech Manor car, sort of in a way, with like an orange and blue kind of combo there. Different names, Venus Default, and I don't even know how to pronounce that, something Zenergy Tiger, yeah, whatever. So yeah, basically some really booky custom liveries. That's pretty cool. Customize your driver's suit, gloves, helmet, and badge. This is what I've been saying. This is what I said, that they can easily do something like that. You know, I've said it in many game ideas videos. You know, let the driver, you know, change some things on their driver's suit, the gloves, helmet, badge. That's great, because I know one thing was gloves is quite personal, because, you know, in the game, the thing you see the most is your car. Obviously, you can't customize that all the time, but you will be in multiplayer now. But you see the guy, you know, the driver's helmet and gloves. So it's a big deal in terms of just feeling a bit more personal. So that's really cool to see they've got that in for multiplayer. I reckon that should probably cross over into career mode as well. If you can customize your gloves and helmet in multiplayer, I should think you can probably do that in career mode. Driver's suit, obviously not so much, because that, you know, your suit is the suit of the team you wear. But gloves and helmet, I think that should pass over to career mode as well in terms of customization for the player. And then the customized liveries are apparently purchased with competition points won via multiplayer. So they're giving you incentives to play multiplayer, which is always something that I think is needed, because you know, a lot of the times, if you're not league racing, for a casual player playing multiplayer, there really is no point sometimes to play it, because, you know, the fun value in playing random lobbies online with F1 is very debatable depending on what the racing kind of, what sort of racing you get. So that's really cool to kind of give incentives. So, you know, taking a model from a lot of multiplayer games, FPS shooters, where you earn points basically for playing, and so, you know, you basically unlock stuff for playing the game. So you reward the more loyal real, players basically and fans of the game by giving them stuff that they can unlock basically, via having played the game a lot. And then we move on to the last bit, and this is very exciting, probably the juiciest bit actually, so that's why I saved it till last. So we've got theatre, highlights reel, generated automatically, post-race highlights of the race with exciting moments. So that's pretty damn sick. So that's a lot like what FIFA almost does. When you end a FIFA match, they have like highlight reels like that play on in the background, the menus, and then they've also got, you can click highlights and view specific things like a goal or like an tackle or whatever, like a good bit of play. So that'll be kind of like that, and that'll be, great for online stuff in terms of, if you watch back a race, see the moments. That's gonna be great for league racing, people who want to make videos out of league racing, but also just in general in terms of trying to boost that whole esports ecosystem of having like content being able to be generated a lot more via online, because that's the problem a lot of the time really, is the fact that not a lot of content can actually be made from online apart from on boards, but that gets quite repetitive and boring, to be fair. Like just seeing on boards, it'd be a lot better to see replay cameras and stuff like that from online, but you could never save them obviously, but now you can, and you can see there the bottom one, export to video on PC. So on the PC version of F1 2019, you're able to export the video out as an actual output file. So that'll be absolutely awesome there. Really, really cool. You can see there, slow motion effects as well, and just generally just looking pretty cool. They've got this menu style on the left-hand side there, which obviously it's so blurry when you zoom in, but looks pretty decent. I mean, it's just cool to see new graphics basically for the menu system on F1 2019. Always gives it a nice new feel. And then on the right-hand side, you can see Super License update. So obviously there was the Super License last year. It was debatable how well it really worked, to be fair. But new league attendance rating. So now if you open up a league and you basically get an attendance rating of showing up or not showing up. So I guess that's going to be pretty good for those of you who do league race and kind of participate in that kind of stuff. Trophy cabinet, that's sick. Trophy cabinet, something that we've kind of wanted in the past in terms of for the player to look at trophies. Now I'm assuming again, if there's a trophy cabinet in multiplayer, I assume it could translate over into career mode as well. Because the thing is, a lot of the base features of career mode are very, transferable to multiplayer. So, they're obviously pushing the kind of this side of the game first a little bit, alongside the Senna and Prost stuff and also F2. But in this presentation right now, a lot of it is multiplayer stuff. So I'm assuming trophy cabinet though would be something that could cross over. But that's pretty sick. So if you obviously race online, you get wins, you see your trophies, number 1 trophies, 2, 3 as well. Game stats showcase. So that I'm just showing off. I don't know. I didn't even know that they didn't show that kind of stuff in F1 2018. To be fair, so okay, you can see your stats now, and then comparable with other races as well. So you can just compare yourself to your rivals, to your friends, to your mates, and just see how you're doing in terms of wins and whatnot. And obviously that might come in handy if you all league race. That'd be a lot handy in terms of seeing the cross value there. But yeah, it's just really exciting to see. Basically the game. The hype is starting to build a bit. The PR is starting for this game, and we're fully in the swing. We're only what is it now? It's like the end of April, so we've got May and June, so literally a month and a bit until the game's going to come out. And finally, we've got some photos from Playseat. They tweeted out some photos of them setting up with the game, and basically you can see that there's a new menu style for F1 2019. So it seems like they're getting rid of the kind of the sideways scroll, and they're going for this more kind of FIFA-esque kind of squared out tile menu, which I kind of like as well. I like it when you can see everything, to be fair, on the menu rather than having to scroll through and to get to the next one. So I kind of like that, and it's just a different aesthetic really, because it was a little bit samey from 2017 to 18 in terms of the aesthetic a little bit of the menus and whatnot. So it's kind of nice to see a completely different refresh. And obviously remember, this is 2 years in the making of the game, so I'm sure they've changed a lot of the foundational work, maybe of how the game's laid out and stuff like that, and just generally speaking how the game's going to look, obviously basing off the screenshots we saw a few days ago, it looks very, very cool. So I think they're giving it a whole brand new facelift, and obviously the actual meat of the game is looking pretty sweet, and they're adding a lot of juicy new features. So it's looking good. It's looking good. As I said, I hope there's a UK event so we can see it for ourselves. I can see it for myself in person, and then maybe be able to capture extra content there. I don't know when that would be, hopefully in the next few weeks, but obviously I'll let you guys know. There you go, guys. So if you did enjoy that info and found it quite interesting, especially let me know what you thought out of all three of those things, maybe well, two things, but the Senna and Prost thing wasn't really one thing. Let me know what you guys found most interesting. The theatre mode, the customization of the player, the highlight reel stuff, the trophy cabinet maybe, for the league racing tent. I don't know. Let me know what you are most excited for out of all those things. For me personally, I would say probably just the savable replay cameras after online. That's pretty damn cool. Like, that sort of thing might get me into racing online more, because I can make more content out of it, because it's more interesting to have that savable replay camera exported to PC, so that's going to be pretty sweet. Obviously, it's unfortunate it can't be done on PS4 and Xbox, but there's reasons. Obviously, you can export it to PC and actually have it as a file, whereas Xbox and PS4, there's no way to have a desktop to look at it and stuff like that. So, but for the PC players, that's going to really open up a lot of content creation possibilities, which is really exciting. That's exactly what other games do. Look at just any big games out there that support content creation and allow people to make content. It just helps the game so much to grow as a community in terms of just pushing the game out there, basically on the space of like YouTube and whatnot. So it's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know if you're new around here to subscribe for weekly full-on content. And like I said, I'll try my best to get straight on it. Unfortunately, this time, again, I was out, but maybe next time I'll be at home and I can get straight on the news. But till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.